Hi, I'm Michelle. For those of you who are looking to go on a cruise or you want to host your retreat or your business or something like that, an event on a cruise, I want to give you these 5 tips so that you'll be able to better handle an emergency should it arise. So, my first tip, number one, is make sure you have travel insurance. Make sure you have travel insurance. Make sure you have travel insurance. And once again, make sure you have travel insurance. Why? Because if anything happens, there are certain clauses in your travel insurance or your travel insurance policy that are going to be able to help you. If you need to be airlifted, which I have been on cruises and that has happened, somebody's going to have to pay for that, and your insurance will cover that. So make sure all of those in your party have travel insurance. Now, the total cost is going to be about 10%, I would say, of what your cruise cost. And it also goes by age. So this is not hard and fast. This is not in stone. It can change. It can be higher. It can be lower. But let's just say your cruise is $3,000. Be prepared to pay an extra $300 for your travel insurance. And usually, depending on the company that you use, that travel insurance needs to be paid within 14 days of booking. Why? Because that will cover any pre-existing conditions. Now, this is for information purpose only. Make sure you read your policy, make sure you understand your policy. But you want a policy that's going to include pre-existing conditions. Why? Because if you are a diabetic and something happens and you've waited past that time period, then you're not going to have the support or the funds that you need should you have a problem when you're in another country. Number two, have a Skype number. When I was in Italy, I had that Google Fi. I had a Google Fi number, and guess what? For me, it didn't work. The other option was to have roaming charges if I needed to call someplace. Skype is affordable. A Skype phone number is like $3, something like that. And if I'm not mistaken, Skype service is free. So have Skype, have one of your relatives have Skype so that you can easily communicate with them and they can know where you are or you can get help should you need it. Number three is make sure you have all emergency numbers in your phone. Even if your phone doesn't work in that country, make sure you have all of those numbers somewhere in your phone. What numbers do you need? First, your travel advisor. If you used one, make sure you have that number. Next, you want the travel insurance company, whoever you used. You want to make sure you have them in your emergency contacts. And you also want to make sure you have your embassy or your consulate phone number for each country you are visiting. And please understand that every country that you are going to, make sure you have that information. I was in a country one time and we left the port, and my husband and I were walking around and I didn't feel comfortable. This truck came down the street. It looked like militia. I don't know what it was, but they were armed and they were in the back of a pickup truck. They could have been the country's military. I don't know. I'm in another country. I'm not sure. But as I walked around and I didn't feel comfortable, I asked, "Where is the U.S. Embassy?" And they said, "Oh, the embassy has moved." That embassy not only moved, but it was an hour away by car and like 16 hours by walking. By not having that number, if I ran into a problem, there was nobody for me to reach out to. I could have possibly went through Skype, told a relative, look, tell the embassy I'm at this place, this has happened. and we'll, hold here or something like that. But I didn't have that information. So you always want to make sure you have that. What again? Your travel advisor, your embassy consulate phone number for each area that you're visiting, and the cruise line emergency assistance number. These things are going to help you should you run into a problem. Number 4, make sure your excursion company has a contingency plan should you not return to the ship on time. So you have companies like Shorex who have what they call a worry-free travel guarantee. I've used them before. I used them when I was in Cuba. I've used them on many occasions. And they have a clause that they're going to get you back to that ship on time. I have never gotten back to the ship late when using them. Now, if you use the cruise line is going to be more expensive, but they will wait for you. I have had it where we were on the bus getting back a little late from one of the excursions that we had taken with the cruise line, but they did wait. So you want to make sure of what is the contingency plan should something happen and we can't get back. As I stated, Shorex or Shore Excursion, they have their guarantee that they are going to get you to that next port. They're going to make sure you have a place to stay, and they're going to make sure that you can continue on with your trip or get back home. And finally, when you get off the ship, you should not only have your ship card, but also your ID. I know some people don't take their passports when they get off the ship, and I've had occasions that I didn't take the passport, but you need to have something on you to be able to tell who you are. And you need to have it somewhere on you. Not in your purse, not in your wallet, but somewhere on your person. One of the cruises that we were on, we heard about 3 people who had been pickpocketed while in a particular country. And they didn't realize until they got back on the ship. And one person, they had unzipped the person's purse, took out their phone, took out their wallet, there were some other things in there that they took out and zipped it back up. And she didn't know anything was missing until she got back on the ship. So you want to have something on your person, maybe like a fanny pack or something with your information in it that is tucked in, that if somebody goes to reach down, you'll be able to feel the tug or the pull if they're trying to get into your clothes. So you want to make sure that you have it on your person and not in your purse or in your wallet. So check out our next video so that you can get more information on cruising and hosting your retreats for more revenue.